What's up guys, Evasion here and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the updated Azerite trait information for this coming patch. I guess it's like nothing's really changed, but we're going to talk about what piece of gear I'm going to be getting for each spec, Outlaw, Assassin, and Subtlety, and kind of where to obtain that stuff, which is going to be probably helpful to you guys in the future. So as soon as patch day comes out, you can hop straight into the arena, start hunting down that gear, and focus less on, getting gear and more time playing the game. It's good stuff. Anyway, hopping straight into it. For, I believe, Assassination first, two of the pieces I'm going to be using for sure are from PvP. So we got the Sinister Gladiator's Leather Hood, which will likely just come from capping your character, same way it has. And then also the Sinister Gladiator's Leather Pauldrons. What traits these are going to allow you to pick up is most importantly Battlefield Precision, which for those of you guys that don't know, basically when you attack, it has a chance to apply these stacks of debuff, and every time anybody on your team hits the target, it's going to consume a stack and do some damage. In this case, 1574. If you multi-stack this, it's going to stack more often and apply more powerful stacks. And if they hit the opposite faction, it's going to give you additional 5 stacks, which is a neat little extra perk, but it's not really why you pick this. In addition to that, we just pick up Overwhelming Power on this piece and Lying in Wait, which are definitely okay. Overwhelming Power is something you want to aim to get, but Battlefield Precision is so important that you just kind of disregard everything else that's on the traits and just look for that. Super, super powerful trait. And then on the Pauldrons here, we got a double dose, another Battlefield Precision, and I have Unstable Flames. The reason I've picked this is because the other options on this piece are Gut Ripper, which I think is trash, and Azerite Globules, which I don't like either, because it spreads and it can potentially break AoE. If that breaks like a blind or something like that, I really hate that. Now there is one exception for traits that break CC that I'll go over in a minute, but I think that overall, as Assassination and Subtlety, you should try to avoid traits that do that kind of thing. Just personal preference. And for the last chest piece here of the Assassin set, we're going to go with the Grongpelt Vest, which is from the new raid that's coming out. And for those of you guys that don't have access to raid gear, honestly not the biggest deal, because I think as long as, it's hard to say, but the item level on the current chest I have, still only 375, but it does have that Battlefield Precision. I think the trait's so strong, it might be potentially worth wearing the Battlefield Precision for the triple stack. Could be pretty insane. And on this chest piece, you're kind of forced to take, I had to take Heed My Call, which isn't terrible, but all the other options kind of suck. Kind of sucks that it cleaves as well, but way she goes. Anyway, gonna hop into the Subtlety pieces. I've actually taken the exact same headpiece and shoulders. So if you get that, I mean, you can just switch traits back and forth when you switch between specs. If you don't switch too often, it's not that big of a deal. And basically, on the headpiece, we're taking Blade in the Shadows, which is the interesting thing about these traits and the way it worked is if you look at sim charts and stuff like that, you can get quite a bit of value out of having one of this Blade in the Shadows trait, because it does decrease the energy cost of your Shadow Strike by 2, which does help, but it doesn't stack if you take multiple of them, so it doesn't really matter that much. And then, of course, we got the Battlefield Precision. Got an Earthlink just to try and get a little bit more damage out of our Eviscerates and stuff like that. And then just Lying in Wait, because I believe the other option was no good on this piece. It's just, it's Gemhide. Gemhide's situationally, There's defensive traits. You can pick what you like there for sure, but definitely go for those Battlefield Precisions. Then the middle row, again, or so the next piece here, these Leather Pauldrons, I got Knight's Vengeance, which is nerfed in PvP. It is a lot weaker. However, it still adds a little bit of damage to Eviscerate, which is kind of like how we burst, and I think that's important. Once again, got another Battlefield Precision, taking that Unstable Flames to avoid passive AoE stuff, breaking our crowd control. And then for the chest piece, actually I have a PvP chest for Subtlety, which is really nice. Gonna have to do no PvE farming for Subtlety. I think that having the extra row traits is gonna make the spec a little bit more powerful, which is nice. However, still probably gonna be lacking a little bit of damage. We'll have to wait and see. And on this piece, I am definitely going to be wearing this over having triple Battlefield, because it is going to give us that first dance trait, which you definitely always want to have one of when you're playing Subtlety, as it greatly increases the speed of the burst rotation and allows you to get out extra Eviscerates and stuff like that, which is really, really cool. And then also on top of that, it has an inevitability trait on this, which I really like for that. Honestly, the increase on the Symbols of Death isn't that great. The extra passive damage on Backstab and Shadow Strike does help too. It's just a good solid trait. It's one of those traits that if you have one of, you get the extra benefit of that Symbols of Death part there. And, you know, in the next row, we're just taking Blood Siphon for the increased mastery, get some more damage out of our Eviscerates again. And then in passive Visage, I kind of like having this one, but I believe it's nerfed in PvP as well. But once again, just a defensive row trait, not really picking stuff as far as that goes. Then for the last spec here, for Outlaw, we're trying to go for the triple dead shot and the triple heed my call. It's kind of like the signature of this spec, this expansion anyway, trying to grow for these traits. A little bit more of a pain though. We're going to require some more PvE gear. We got the Sinister Gladiator's leather cap, so a different headpiece from the other two specs. Going to be obtainable through capping, I believe. Hopefully not just random drops, because there is 4 headpieces that were options to us on the vendor in this PTR server. So anyway, Deadshot, Snake Eyes, which is pretty cool. I don't know if Snake Eyes has a PvP modifier on it or not, but it was better than the other options I could have went for, and still picking up Heed My Call. Then Longstrider is the only real option on this one. The other one was Vampiric Speed, which doesn't really matter much in Arena. The shoulders here, the Pistoliers, Spalders, I believe these are from Mythic. And what is it, Toll de Gore, I believe. I wonder if we can check that out real quick. Dungeons. Toll de Gore, Overseer. Yeah, Pistoliers, Spalders are from there, which is going to be, you know, at least it's not from a raid in my opinion. It's probably easier to obtain it from there. And it's got the Deadshot. Brigand's Blitz is just what I picked there in the middle for the haste during Adrenaline Rush. Not the most insane trait, but definitely still helpful. And then I'll just Heed My Call. Pretty much we're just tunnel visioning Heed My Call and Deadshot for Outlaw. And then in the last, on the chest piece here, Mechatork's Bomber Jacket. I believe this is from the new raid. And it is Snake Eyes, Deadshot as well. So we'll have 2-stack Snake Eyes and 3-stack Deadshot, which is pretty cool. And then Heed My Call as well. And last but not least, if this is too hard to obtain for somebody, you can go for a Gore Splattered Vest. Is going to be from the Underrot. So once again, another Mythic dungeon, probably a little bit easier to obtain than obtaining the right thing from a raid. Other than that, guys, it's still going to have Deadshot, Heed My Call. That's pretty much going to do it for this video. It's kind of running on talking about traits. I hope this information is helpful to you guys, though. Helps you get a head start on the next season. And also, a last thing before we go, good luck to all you guys watching this video today, trying to make your rating pushes for the end of the season, trying to get those rewards. Maybe you're after that Dread Flame, maybe you're getting that Gladiator. Let me know if you obtain anything cool in the comments below, guys, and we will see you all next time.